Hello YouTube, I'm back again today, this time with a deck profile of Chaos Zone Macro. And first thing is first, I want to apologize about how I'm getting this footage, but I've been looking into screen capturing software, and Cam Studio refuses to work for me. And I've tried out HyperCam, and while the footage looks dreadful, even worse, the audio doesn't sync up. And even when I slow the visuals down, and I record the audio somewhere else, and I try to sync it up there, it's still a very difficult effort to do, just because the way HyperCam is recording. So, if you know a good screen recording software that isn't HyperCam or Cam Studio, please tell me about it. And secondly, this deck profile has somewhat of a story behind it, and it's actually a pretty, well, to me it's funny. To you, you may just be like, oh, this guy's just fucking rambling on while pointing his fucking camera to the screen of his computer, so he's a retard and I'm going to dislike the video. And if you do that, all the power to you. I completely respect your decision to do that. But Zesty Crackers, he's probably most notably known right now as a guy that WK did a deck profile over on him, a anti-monster something or other. And me and him were at a local card shop, and we ran into this guy who claims that he top 16 or top 8, he did something somewhere and got a blood fist. And when Zesty went to look him up, we couldn't find any information on him. And then I wasn't really paying attention. I was trading or playing or something. And so Zesty was really mad because he didn't believe him. And they dueled, and Zesty wiped the floor with him. And the guy was using a macro deck, and I didn't see his build. I just saw a few cards in his deck because I was preoccupied. But if you're using a macro deck, shouldn't you beat a chaos deck? Because for chaos you need the monsters in the graveyard to go off. But what the guy's deck reminded me of is how I wanted to try out using Macro Cosmos and Chaos Zone, and I just threw this deck together. I just thought of good cards that may work in it, and so just here's the deck profile. It's doing fine, I guess, but I have no interest in really playing remove from play decks just because I think they're personally too slow. And this deck is very slow, but somehow it's still doing really good. But let's get on with the deck profile now that we're 3.5 minutes in. Alright, so 3 Guardian Eatos. This card can special summon itself from your hand when you have no monsters in your grave. And either, if you're lucky, if you're just playing the deck right, you should never have monsters in your grave. But I don't know, I've just played this deck about 5 times and I've only had one monster ever touch my grave. And Gren, what's this card called? Maju das Eiza. How about this? We'll call it Gren. This card is what I am making the main beater of the deck. It gains 400 for every card you have removed from play. So, yeah, with this deck you use Macrocosmos, remove stuff from play, and just do your shenanigans there. And he's pretty easy to pull out. I run him at 2 because I don't want to draw him early game, but I'll get more into him in a minute. 3 Card Guard. I liked this card. I first learned about it with the Dark World Structure deck. And when it's normal or special summoned, you place a guard counter on it, and it gains 300 for every guard counter it has on it. And once per turn, you can move a guard counter to another face-up card on the field, and if that face-up card would be destroyed, the guard card is removed instead. So it's there for protecting your macros, your defissures, your chaos zones. Next, Necroface. This card is meant to mostly just combo with things like Gold Sarc and mill stuff into you and your opponent's banish zone, racking up counters on Chaos Zone and making Gren even stronger. Then we have 2 Malefic Stardust. This card is there to protect Chaos Zone and just be another 25 beater.